Welcome to round number 5 of Gatineau Open 2025, and in the 5th round with 3 out of 4 points I was playing against Fide master Timur Libertad, who was rated 23-25. Fide rated opponent, very strong player, was playing with light pieces. I'm not sure how it goes like that, but since my return to OTB chess in February, to classical OTB chess, I don't remember. I played only one game with white pieces against high rated opponent, and it was not like against someone 2400, it was only against 2215, so it's like only 30 rating points difference at that time, because he was 2215, I was 2185, 30 rating points difference. Right now, once again, with everyone else, I'm playing with black pieces. I'm not sure why, I'm not sure when it will change. Maybe in the event I'm going to be playing next Canadian Chess Championship. But so far, it's just like been some kind of bad luck. I can't play for some reason. I didn't get white piece against strong players, but that's fine. Knight of d6, knight dwarf, knight f6, h3 to prevent bishop g4, and now after knight 6 he goes for bishop d3. At that point, my knowledge kind of ended because I forgot what I should play. Apparently, I just completely forgot what my purpose. We discussed that I should play maybe e5 instead of d5, but d5 is something that I looked at briefly before, maybe not in this specific position, but I just know that this move exists, and I was like, okay, why not play it? Like, anyway, what bad things might happen? So e5, knight d7, now bishop goes to b5, and here I realized that potentially my bishop on c8 will be a huge problem. You know, in Rossolimo structures, usually with this bishop b5, then obviously white take, and then you have a lot of problems with the bishop potentially later in the game, and this is pretty much what will happen in the game. So queen b6 was now best. Even after e6 castle, queen b6 is now again best move, just to make sure that after takes I can take with the queen, and the position is more or less fine. So queen b6, maybe there is some bishop a4, and after c4, like it's getting somewhat crazy. Knight c5, queen d1, but I just don't see why it is crazy. It looks like an absolutely dream position to play with black pieces. So yeah, I gotta study it further. I played a6, after takes, look at my bishop. He plays d3, and now his plan is to just lock my bishop down, to play b3 and try to play c4. I had a plan, but my plan didn't work because I'm dumb. So bishop e7, queen a4, attacking opponent c6, and now I go queen c7. And I was like, I'm attacking opponent e5. What will white do? And after rook e1, I had a plan. I planned to go c4, knight b6. And you know, it's the last round of the event, it's the second game of the day. You kind of don't calculate stuff that deep. You already kind of want to be done, go home. And at this point, of course, I'm a bad calculator as well, but what I did is a huge mistake. I played c4 because I thought that after d takes c4 I'll have knight b6. But what I completely missed, let's say, because I calculated only something like queen c2, then I take, and I have an absolutely dream position to play. But what I didn't realize is that there is queen a5, and my queen on c7 is not protected, and I'm not able to take on c4 with my knight. And this would have been a problem. So after d takes c4, I had to come up with another option. I played knight c5, attacking the queen, and now I just basically lost on move 12. Once again, gotta be extremely careful when I do it. I could do a lot of different things. I could just go castle, but after castle I didn't like something like queen g4, and I'm being a little bit attacked, but probably not a big deal. So I played c4, d takes c4, knight c5, queen c2, and I go a5 once again. I didn't want to take on c4 because eventually what might happen is, of course, knight d2, knight e4, knight d6, or knight g5. It is a trouble. So I was like, okay, I go a5, I don't want to castle right now. Bishop a6, knight d2, knight d7, takes, h4, h6, queen a4, and suddenly computer doesn't give white like a very huge advantage. Queen g4 was played, king h7, only plus 0.3. So I have some compensation. We're laughing after the game, of course, but apparently I have some compensation after all. Yeah, it might not be huge, but I have 2 bishops on the board. Rook c1, knight c5. Yeah, knight c5 is a terrible mistake. So what I didn't like about, let's say, rook a8 is that there's still c4. But I completely... I'm not sure. I calculate something like this, but apparently I have h5. So that's the line which never worked, in my opinion. There was also some bishop h6, but I was like, alright, I play queen b2, that's fine. But then I realized that also bishop d4, and how do I protect this? Queen can't move, but I have h5. I also calculated some f5, but I think f5 just doesn't work. Just, yeah, rook e5. Yeah, that's exactly what I was calculating. What I kind of forgot about is that I had h5, and now apparently it's not that bad. But okay, completely missed it. Played knight c5, and after takes these knights are very, very annoying. Bishop e7, rook e3, rook b8, trying to create pressure on b file. Rook goes to c2, a4. So now queen is not able to take because bishop c4, and I win a queen. So knight goes to d4, and after queen c4 I was like, alright, maybe I have some counterplay. Queen f1 check, queen a2 threatening to take a pawn, but I immediately saw that b3, and that's what he played, and I'm in trouble. I don't really want to go queen f1 because, I mean, there are no threats afterwards, there is absolutely nothing. So I went for a takes b3, a takes b3, and I briefly calculated something like rook b3. I potentially wanted to sacrifice my exchange, but at least I have this bishop, still completely lost position. But what I realized immediately is that why don't I even have to take the rook here? They can just go king h2, and now I'm just simply losing the rook, because now I don't have queen f1 check, right, to win it back, and this file is fully blocked, so I can't really protect my rook. And queen a4, I'm not threatening this rook because knight b1, and the rook is protected by knight on d4. So I couldn't really do it, so I returned my queen back. I was like, maybe I'll have some defensive chances. And yeah, computer says knight g5 was best. And I actually was thinking, like, what happens after knight g5? Am I not just losing? Because after king g8, there is simple knight f7. And I was like, nah, man, I'm completely lost. And if I take on g5, I just couldn't see how am I protecting myself. Like, g6 is one of the threats, rook h3 is one of the threats. I just don't see a way. Computer just wants to give up the whole bishop to play bishop d3, and after rook d3, play g6. But again, you kind of know that it's gonna be bad. Wait, king g7, what happens? King h6, king g8. Oh, I still have queen f5, but of course, I don't have to kind of give it up. Just play, let's say, queen h4. Wait, why computer now shows it as a better option? And just play rook e2, right? And then rook h3, bishop f8. Again, even knight e6 works. Guess what? Knight e6 works. And bishop h6, knight e7, attacking the rook. And yeah, there's absolutely nothing I can do. Let's say bishop h6, knight e7, rook a1, king h2, bishop g5, and just simple b4, then take on d5, hopeless position. So b4 was played in the game instead, and now I play bishop c4. Again, bishop c8 was slightly better defensive move, just to make sure there are no sacrifices on e6 square. But again, I was a very long time, I was just trying to play something, and at this point I realized I'm completely lost. Takes, h5, rook a8, knight d2, bishop c4, f4, rook a2, probably last mistake. Bishop a6 is something I should have played, but again, at this point it's very tough to defend as well. Rook a2, rook g3, bishop f8, knight f3. Now all sort of attacks are coming up. King d7, f5, takes knight f5, king e6, king f4. I play bishop d3 and immediately realized that it's just hard to find any move here, honestly. Bishop d3 was okay. No matter what I play here, I just lose the game. Bishop d3, knight d4, attacking the queen, attacking the bishop. I still have queen a6, but now after b5, I can admit my loss. I also calculate knight g7, but pretty much everything here wins. Or even e6, like, whatever happens, and then you can take on g7. Oh, here you can actually take on g7. Yeah, so not all the time, because now bishop d6 or something. But yeah, so yeah, I just saw knight g7, and yeah, b5, bishop b5. Again, knight g7 worked, but he just played knight d6, easy. And I admitted my loss, and I finished my tournament with 3 out of 5 points. I even gained some ratings, surprisingly, because I made a draw against Jonathan Han in round number 3, 2400 IM. And I beat 2 1900s in the first 2 rounds. So that's not too bad. Starting Monday, guys, for 9 days straight, you will see the recaps of Canadian Close Chess Championship, which already finished as you're watching this video. But I have no idea what my result is, because it hasn't even started for me, but as you're watching this, it has already finished. So on Monday, you'll see the recaps of Canadian Close Chess Championship. Once again, let me know the feedback you might have, and I'll see you in my other videos. Have fun, enjoy, bye bye.